everyone, my name's Lauren. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you 25 of my favourite Netflix TV series. So since we're all staying inside and probably bored by this point, I thought this would be a good time to share with you my all-time favourites and hopefully recommend a few more TV shows that you can add to your list. Hope you enjoy the video and let's get on with it. So I've split up all the TV shows into 5 categories. So the first category is comedy. So there are a lot of comedy shows on Netflix, as we all probably know by now. My favourites, and probably some of them that you might not think to watch on Netflix. So the first one is Fresh Meat. So Fresh Meat is a comedy drama and it is based in the UK. So it's a comedy about a group of 6 students who live together and go to uni and become friends basically. So it's really funny. It's got Jack Whitehall in it, if you know him. He's a well-known comedian slash actor in the UK. And yeah, another one that is very similar but then again not too similar is Bad Education. That's also a comedy and it's about a secondary school teacher who's kind of an idiot and a big kid, and he teaches a class that are a bit different. So you've got the dumb kid, the one who's self-obsessed, you've got the brainy one and things like that. And that's also got Jack Whitehall in as well. The next TV show I've watched that I really love is Sex Education. That's another comedy drama and it's about a teenage boy who sets up a sex therapy clinic with a girl in his class because his mum's a sex therapist, so people think that he can help. So that's really good. It's quite funny. It's based in a secondary school again. I think it's supposed to be based in the UK, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, that is another good one. Number 4 is Orange is the New Black, and I'm sure you all know what Orange is the New Black is, but if you don't, or if you've never watched it and thought, oh, I wonder what it's about a woman called Piper Chapman who commits a crime by taking drug money to her ex-girlfriend and then is convicted 10 years later and sentenced to 18 months in prison, and in prison she meets cool people and makes friends and has a life-changing experience and all that type of stuff. So that's really good if you like drama, comedy. It's got a little bit of romance but not, it doesn't take over the show. It's like people get together. But yeah, anyway, another one that's funny is Jane the Virgin, but I don't really think I need to explain what it's about since the title is called Jane the Virgin. But it's about a young woman, obviously she's a virgin and she's Catholic, and she accidentally gets artificially inseminated at a routine checkup appointment. So that's a really good one. It's funny, it's got drama in, it's kind of like a American telenovela drama program basically. So yeah, that's funny. It's got a bit of romance in. Check that one out, that's really good. The next on my list, which is number 6, is On My Block, and On My Block is a comedy about 4 high school friends who live in a rough, dangerous area and try and get one of their friends out of his brother's gang. So that's really funny. So yeah, that's another one. And the last one that's on my list for comedy is I'm Not Okay With This. This show is really funny. It's got a little bit of sci-fi, not sci-fi but supernatural powers. It's about a teenage girl called Sydney who's lost her dad and she's starting to experience mysterious powers, and she's got friend drama and love life drama, and it's just really good and funny to watch. And it's produced by the same people, or the producers or something, who made Stranger Things. So if you like that sort of powery, superpower, natural force kind of thing, that's similar to that, but then it's like a mix between Stranger Things and End of the Beat World and like Sex Education. All of them 3 in 1 kind of. That's how I'd describe it. But yeah, so there are the comedy ones. The next category on my list is drama. I've got 4 drama programs that you could check out. Number 1 is called Dynasty. It's a reboot of an old series that used to come on back in the day, I think. But this one, it follows the same story, and it's about 2 wealthy families that feud over their fortune in businesses and children and all that type of stuff. So that's really good. Lots of drama. Another one is Gossip Girl, and it's a drama slash romance. I'm pretty sure if you're watching this video, you've probably already watched Gossip Girl. It is amazing and it's one of my all-time favourites. I've rewatched it like 3 times, which isn't actually a lot because I know people that have watched it more, but for me it's a lot because I normally watch things once and that's it. It's about a group of 4 rich privileged teenagers who live on the Upper East Side of New York and 2 normal class teenagers, like normal people, and their brother and sister, and the programme is just basically about that group always being watched by a ruthless anonymous blogger who exposes secrets and starts rumours, so basically ruins their lives. Yeah, that's a really good one. It's got a lot of drama in, relationships, breakups, fights, parties, drinking, not lots of drinking, but like, it is good, check it out. The next one is called Elite. It's a newish one, no it's not, it's been out for like a year or 2. Anyway, it's like a crime drama / thriller, but I don't think it's that spooky. It's a little bit. If you're a pansy like me, then I get scared of anything. So I thought it was a little bit eerie, but it's not scary for people that don't get scared, basically. So in Elite, a murder takes place in an exclusive private school in Spain, and 3 working class teenagers start at the school and they clash with the other wealthy students. And yeah, so I've only watched the first season of that one. I'm assuming the second season is just as good as the first, but yeah, that's another one that I'll be watching, and I think you should watch too if you like that sort of thing. Now, another one that's got a lot of drama in, a little bit of crime and a little bit of romance is You. Now, You is a weird one. It's very gory if you don't mind that sort of thing. It's not scary, I wouldn't say. It's just gory, and like, it's about a dangerous, charming, intensely obsessive man who goes to the extremes to insert himself into the lives of those that he's like fixated by. So it's about a stalker basically, and he is very dangerous and a bit messed up in the head, but like also by the end of the season and maybe the second season you start to actually sympathize for him. It's that messed up, but yeah, it is really good and I love it. The next category I've got is mystery. There are 5 mystery programs that I've got on my list. The first one is Pretty Little Liars. Now, I think everyone and their mum's son has watched Pretty Little Liars, and if you haven't, then what have you been doing your whole entire life? Because it is probably one of the best shows I've ever watched in my entire life. It's got drama in, romance, mystery, it's got the works. It's what put me on the map for loving mystery programs, basically. It's a little bit spooky and eerie because I told you that I get scared about anything, so I found it scary, but then the more you get into it, the more I just wanted to know what the hell happened. So that took over the fear and I just wanted to know what happened and wanted to watch more. But it is a really good one to watch. It's about 4 best friends who investigate the disappearance of one of their best friends, and while trying to investigate what happened, they also have to deal with an anonymous enemy that threatens to reveal all their darkest secrets and ruin their lives. So it is really good. It's been out for a while, so you probably have watched this one by now, but if you haven't, I highly recommend you watch it if you like drama, romance, mystery, all that type of stuff. The next one is 13 Reasons Why. Now, 13 Reasons Why is, I think, you either like it or you don't. You either want to watch it or you don't. It's okay. I didn't mind it. I've not watched the second season because the first season was enough for me. Yeah, it's quite sad. It's got drama in and mystery because you want to know what happened. But yeah, it's basically about a teenage girl called Hannah Baker who decides to end her life, and she leaves behind 13 tapes explaining the events that happened and why she was feeling the way she was. And her classmate Clay Jensen, that had a crush on her, uncovers the story on basically why she did it. So yeah, it's very depressing, but it is good. Yeah, I'm supposed to be selling this to you, not exactly being like, yeah, it's good, yeah, watch it if you want. No, like, it is a great program. I watched it and I liked the first one. It's very controversial and it's quite sad and depressing, but if you can get past that, then yeah, watch it. The next one that I absolutely love, and probably all of you are watching it right now, is Riverdale. Riverdale is a crime drama mystery program that is about 4 high school friends that get entangled in like solving dark mysteries that happen in the small town of Riverdale. So it is really good. I'm currently waiting for the next episode to come out because it's been on a break for God knows how long, but it is definitely one of my favourites, and it is based on the Archie comics, if you have heard of them. It's like a mystery solving program, and like a crime happens, or it's like a serial killer in the neighbourhood and they've got to find out who it is. Well, they don't have to, but they want to because they like solving mysteries, and obviously they want to help the town out of crime, like out of danger, solve the crime. So yeah. The next one is Dark. Dark is like another crime kind of mystery drama series. It's quite scary. I thought it was spooky and scary, like a bit eerie. If you're okay with all that stuff, if you've got thick skin, if you're not like a pansy like me, then you'll be fine. But I got scared watching it, and I've not watched the second season because I didn't want to watch it on my own, but I might bite the bullet and do it since I've got nothing else to do. So my memory isn't as great on this one because I did watch it a while ago, and it's a very confusing program trying to think about it, and I think it's even more confusing to explain, but I'm gonna try. It's a German series set in the town of Winden about how the aftermath of a child's disappearance exposes the secrets of 4 estranged families that have a hidden connection, and they unravel a sinister time travel conspiracy which spans 3 generations, so the past, the present and the future, and the implications of time and its effect upon human nature, you know, like birds dying and dropping out of the sky and stuff like that. So yeah, it is really good. It's quite an underrated one because I thought it was really good, but I've not heard many people speak about it, and it's also always on my recommendeds because I took it out of my library because I'd finished watching it. So it's always shown up on my recommended, but I've not really spoken to many people who have actually watched that program. So if you like that sort of thing, check it out, you know, do what you want basically. And the 5th mystery program that I love is called The Stranger. So The Stranger is a mystery thriller. It's not that thrillery. I think it's just a bit like, oh, what happened, spooky kind of thing. Yeah, I think it's okay, but I did watch it with someone, so maybe that is why I thought it was okay. But anyway, hey ho. The Stranger is a series that follows the lives of families whose lies and secrets are exposed by an anonymous stranger that appears. So it is really good. It's set in the UK again. Yeah, I found it really interesting, and I definitely wanted to know what happened next. It's one of them series that does kind of grip you a little, so that's a good one. So the 4th category I have is fantasy. I've got 6 TV programmes that could tickle your fancy if you like. So the first one is Once Upon a Time. I think you've all heard of Once Upon a Time probably. I don't know if you've actually watched it, but if you've never decided to watch it, it's an adventure fantasy romance programme that's basically about magic and fairy tales and that genre. So Once Upon a Time is about a small town in Maine called Storybrooke where fairy tales are real life, and a young woman called Emma who has had a troubled past is drawn to the town and has like an unknown connection to the town and the people who are in it. So that's a really good one. The second one is Lock and Key. So it's described as a drama, fantasy, horror. I don't think it was that much of a horror. If I saw the words horror, I would have never watched it because, as you know, pansy, but yeah, it was a bit spooky and like a bit eerie and a bit, oh no, it's a bit tense. But yeah, if I was able to watch it, I'm pretty sure most people can watch it, it's fine. But it's about 3 siblings and their mum who move to their ancestral home called Key House after their dad is like mysteriously murdered, and they discover that the house is full of magical keys and discover that their dad's death may have had a connection to the keys basically. So it's about magic and fantasy, and yeah, go watch it. So the next programme, which is another one of my all-time favourites, is The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. So it's another drama fantasy horror. This one is, I would say, it maybe does class as a horror. It has devils and witches and demons and all sorts of that type of stuff in. They're very ugly on the eye to look at, and it can get quite tense when you're watching it. So yeah, it is scary, but I can watch it and I can watch it on my own. So I think it's another one of them programmes that if you do get scared, your fear kind of gets taken over by wanting to know what happens next, because that happened to me. And it's a really good series to watch. So it's basically about, obviously, witches, because if you've ever heard of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, it's kind of that. So the series is based off of the Archie comics, where Sabrina is a half witch, half mortal, and has to choose between her family and the witch world and her best friends and the human world, all before her 16th birthday. So if you watch it, you find out what side she picks or which way she leans towards and what happens, and yeah, how she made the decision to choose. And in the other seasons after that, it's how she's dealing with whatever is going on in her crazy life. So go watch it. The next one on my list is probably my most favourite show, if that even makes sense, I've ever watched. It's called Stranger Things, and it's basically got all the things that I love about a TV programme. It's got drama, and it's got fantasy, and it's got supernatural powers, and it says it's horror, and I guess it maybe classes as a horror, maybe not. I mean, again, I was able to watch it, and I think it's just a horror because it's really tense and a bit spooky when you're watching it, a bit jumpy, and it's got, again, horrible creatures with messed up faces and, like, yeah, people that are after you and trying to kill you kind of thing. So Stranger Things is my favourite. You probably already watched it, and if you haven't, you probably have already seen what it's about. But if you haven't, it's about a girl called 11 with supernatural powers, and she escapes a government facility and meets a group of kids who take her in and look after her and keep her hidden. And then one of their friends, called Will Byers, have disappeared. So 11 in the group help Will's mum, Joyce, and the police chief, Hopper, to confront scary supernatural forces in order to get him back, basically, from wherever he's mysteriously been taken to. So yeah, it is a really good programme. I highly recommend you go watch it if you like that sort of thing. Again, yeah, it's about all my favourite things. It's about drama, it's about fantasy, it's about superpowers, it's about, got a little bit of romance in there just to keep it going and keep it a bit spicy, and it's got a bit of grip to it, a bit of tense and a bit of, oh, what happens next, climax, cliffhangers, that sort of thing. So yeah, go watch it. The next one, I keep saying this about a lot of programs that they're my favourite, but I think they are my favourites. That's why I'm giving you this video, to explain to you my favourites. But yeah, another one that's my favourite is Teen Wolf. It is an old program, not old, but like it's been around for a couple years, like 5 years, over 5 years now actually, I don't know, who knows. Anyway, Teen Wolf is a drama, action, fantasy kind of program again. It's got like supernatural forces, obviously Teen Wolf kind of gives it away, werewolf kind of thing. But yeah, it is about a boy called Scott who is in high school and he gets bitten by a werewolf, and him and his best friend Styles are like suddenly dragged into the supernatural world at Beacon Hills. Beacon Hills is where they...
I don't know that one.
Thanks, Alexa.
Anytime.
That was random, but yeah. Yeah, Beacon Hills is basically the town, city that it's area, I don't know, place that it's based in. So obviously you probably thought that anyway. I didn't know why I need to explain that further, but yeah, that is really good. I think it's for various ages to watch. Young, not young, it's like got werewolves in and a bit like jumpy kind of thing. I got my stepdad watching it, and me and him used to watch it together, and it'd be like our thing to watch Teen Wolf because we both like supernatural kind of superhero stuff, even though it's not about superheroes. Well, he does try and save people, I guess, but it's not about superheroes, it's just about a werewolf and other supernatural beings as well. Wow, I waffled so much in that one. I'm sorry if you got bored of that explanation of Teen Wolf. So the last program that fits into the fantasy category is Shadowhunters. So Shadowhunters is a series that was based upon the Mortal Instruments book and films, and it's an action drama fantasy program. So the plot of the program is basically about a girl called Clary whose mum disappears, and then she becomes a Shadowhunter run by an organisation that hunts demons and protects the shadow world and mortals from supernatural dangers and forces. And yeah, if that sounds interesting, then you know the drill. Check it out. Anyway, so my last category, and by far not least, is action and sci-fi. So I've got 3 programs in this category that are my favourites. The first one is Orphan Black. Orphan Black is an action / drama / sci-fi program, and I didn't watch it up until a couple of years ago. It's been around for a while, and I remember it being on like BBC One or BBC Three when that program was still around, and I just never watched it because I was like, what is this? But it's actually amazing, and I'm actually sad I didn't watch it sooner. So it's basically about a woman called Sarah Manning who witnesses a person step out in front of a train at the station, and the person who did that looks exactly like her. So she then steals her identity and resumes her life, but then she discovers that there are more lookalikes, and the more she investigates into it, the more dangerous it all gets for her. So yeah, that is a really, really, really good one to watch if you like cloning and sort of sci-fi and technology and that kind of stuff, and action. It's got a lot of action in, a lot of fighting the bad guy, you know. Yeah. The next one is another one of my favorites again, and it's called Jessica Jones. So Jessica Jones is like a Marvel series that is on Netflix, and it's like an action / crime / drama series that you can watch. It's basically about a woman called Jessica Jones who has super strength, superpowers, and is a private investigator in New York, and she deals with cases involving people with abilities and things like that. And that is the most plain watered down basic definition I could give you without giving anything away, because I think that personally anything else I say about it is kind of giving away plots. Obviously she's got power, so she fights bad people, but then there's a lot of other things that go on behind the scenes that is very interesting. And yeah, I recommend you watching that if you do like Marvel. Another one that you can watch if you like Marvel is The Umbrella Academy. That's a really good program about action, adventure and fantasy again. So it's basically about a family of individuals with superpowers who were adopted as children to form like a group and fight crime, and then they grew apart as they got older and were then reunited when their dad died. And then when that happened, they decided to come together again and help save the world against something that's happening, and about something that's ending the world, I think. I've not watched it in a while, so my memory's a bit foggy, but I think like save the world from something in particular, but I can't remember. But it's a good thing because I don't want to give it away. So yeah. So there are more Marvel programs that you can watch if you like Marvel superpower kind of programs as well. So if you like the Avengers, Marvel, superheroes, all that type of stuff, I suggest maybe going to watch things that are made by Marvel on Netflix, as they're really good to watch as well and quite entertaining. But yeah, that concludes all 25 of my favourite TV shows, and I hope you're still here and I haven't bored you to death. But yeah, so I hope that I've given you a few TV programmes that you might want to check out for yourself and start watching. And yeah, thank you so much for watching my video. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll be back with more videos. Bye! Recommend a few more new who has had a trouble. I can't flip and speak, can I? Blimey now. It's about 3 siblings and their mum who move to their ancestral home called people that are after you and try to kill you kind of thing. So yeah. So the last program that fits into this, so this is a Marvel series. So Jessica Jones is a Marvel. So Jessica, and then as they grow older, they grew apart, and they were reunited. Have you ever watched a program and it actually makes you angry because it's like, just don't do that, or just do that? And yeah, it was one of them programs for me personally. But and The Defenders is like a mini and The Defenders and the